Hey, what's going on everybody? JP here with Wander to Get Lost, and in today's video I'm finally going to bleed the brakes on our RV following our front caliper swap out. So stick around, let's tackle this project together.
It could be this simple forever.
Alright everybody, so as I said when I redid the front brake calipers back in June, I redid the brake lines on the RV, and we had to bleed the whole system. So actually I picked up this power pressure bleeder by Motive Products. It actually works with pretty much every kind of car that's out there. The only thing you need to worry about is to make sure you have the correct cap for your brake master cylinder for your fluid goes into. So this one, it fits for our RV, so that's basically changes out right here. So then you can have, if you have different vehicles, you can have one of these with a bunch of different caps. So we also have a cap for the Jeep. So basically what you do is you fill this up with your brake fluid, attach this to your cap, you pump it up to no more than 20 psi, and then it allows you to go to each brake caliper, bleed the caliper without having to step on the gas pedal. So this is a one-person job for bleeding brakes. It makes it so simple. You don't have to have somebody in the RV scream at them to press the brake and hold the brake so everything bleeds out. This accomplishes that task, and it does it very well. We're going to be using now Ford Motorcraft. This is the DOT4 high performance brake fluid. I've already filled the brake cylinder with fluid, so it's fully topped off, and then we're gonna have to fill this up with fluid and then attach it and then start the bleed out process. Alright, so one other thing that Motive also sells is a brake fluid collection bottle. It comes with a little hose that you can put right onto your bleeder valve, and then this just hangs from the caliper, and as you bleed it just catches your excess brake fluid, and then you can dump it into a container. It makes the whole process a little neater. The main important thing is when we start doing our brake fluids and we pressurize the system, as we open up the bleeder valve, also going to check for any leaks around the brake lines, around the brake caliper, around the connection point of the brake line to the brake caliper, and just make sure that we don't have any leaks. We want to make sure that we get all the air out of the system, otherwise the brakes won't operate correctly. And that's one of the main reasons why I replaced the front calipers, because the bleeder valves were snapped off and I couldn't properly completely bleed the front brakes. So now that is all taken care of, so should be having way better performance out of the front brakes. Alright, so one other thing, as we go from caliper to caliper, we're going to start with the furthest caliper from the cylinder, which will be our passenger rear side. That's the furthest brake line. So we're going to start over there. After we pump up the pressure in the power bleeder, we will bleed that caliper, tighten it down once it's all good. Then we'll come back and we'll check the pressure on the gauge, and then we'll pump this back up. It says minimum pressure of 15 psi. It says no more than 20 psi, and you can also check the manual for your vehicle and what it says. So we'll do that and make sure that the pressure is high enough so that it actually bleeds the brake line. If it gets too low, it's not going to push the fluid through. Alright, so let's get to it. Let's fill this up and start bleeding our brakes. So we're just going to remove that cap, like so. Attach our new cap from our power bleeder. Alright, now we're just going to pump this up to minimum of 15 psi. Alright, so we're at 15 psi. Lock that down. This will sit right here. All right, so we're gonna go to the rear brake caliper with our bottle and set that up, and now we can bleed it out. All right, here we go. All right, we got some flow coming through. See that? So it's starting to look like a nicer color. So this darker color probably means there was some air in the line and maybe some water. So I think we're looking pretty good right there. We'll tighten it back down. All right, not too bad. Little drips. We'll just good, nice and tight, nice and snug. What I'm gonna do is I gotta pick up some new caps. All right, let's go check the cylinder and see what the pressure is at. See how much it came down from just this one back line, and then we're gonna move over to the other side. All right, so we were at 15 and it's dropped down to like 12. Yeah, so we're gonna pump this back up to 15, and then we'll go do the other rear caliper. And then I'm just gonna go through, do the rear one, and then we'll do the passenger side front, and then the driver side front, and then we should be good. All right. You can hear the air escaping. All right, so we got fluid coming out. Just saw some air bubbles come through. That should be good. I don't see any leaks coming out of the brake line and the caliper fitting, so I think we're good over there. All right, we'll go to the other front one. All right, got a lot of air coming out. That's good. Alright, these calipers are big, so they obviously take a lot of fluid to re-bleed. Alright, so all done with the bleed out process. For disconnecting from the master cylinder, unscrew this, the cap for the power bleeder. That'll let the air into the power bleeder, and it'll release the pressure, and then it'll backflow back into the power bleeder, and then you can disconnect it from the master cylinder. Alright everybody, so that was it for the bleeding of our RV brakes with the Motive power bleeder. I got it off of Amazon, so I'll link to it below, and I'll also link to the specific attachment for our type of cylinder. It's not a Ford master cylinder. It was something weird. I will put it down in the description below, but I actually bought 3 different caps and got that to work. I looked in the Motive box. I actually found the power bleeder attachment. It's the model 1103. It's a Chrysler Dodge adapter. So I don't know why, but that's the one that works with this brake master cylinder. Alright, so the other thing is those front calipers, they're really big. They take a lot of fluid, and definitely took longer to bleed out the front calipers just because it had to completely fill with fluid. Alright, other than that, yeah, we're done. So new front calipers, it's all bled out. I'm gonna probably take the RV for a spin tomorrow around the block, test the brakes, do the break-in cycle for the new brake pads, and that should be it. And then on to the next project. So if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll link to the Motive power bleeder, this attachment, and the calipers and everything. All right, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video.